Welcome everyone. We're 5 minutes away from actually getting started, so I'm just getting my stuff together. I don't mind answering any questions if anybody has any questions about art. I'm not a school-taught artist. I am self-taught and with the help of my mama, and so I've been painting for 30 years, and I just love to find new products, which is how I ended up with Unicorn Spit as one of my favorite products. So it's a gel stain, in case you've never heard of it. Since we're just not starting yet, I'll just go ahead and talk about it. It's a gel stain, so there's no glue in it, there's no polymer. It stains your wood, like if you wet the wood down to open the pores and then just pour this on it. Any colors you want, it comes in fabulous colors, just a gazillion of them. Now the metallics, which I haven't got yet. I just got the sparkling. But anyway, you can wipe it with a damp cloth and it becomes like fairy wood. You can make it as colorful and vibrant as you want. They're very saturated. Or you can use it straight, like what I did with the balloon dip. This was just Unicorn Spit, and I added a pouring medium and a little bit of glue to give it that raised up texture in parts. So, and if you use a pouring medium while you're using your Unicorn Spit, like mixing it in with it, then it's pretty much sealed with that same seal. So that is pretty cool. You get one fell swoop and you're done. So, and I mix it in with alcohol inks, and on its own, I usually just use it straight. I don't dilute it much, except for like right on whatever I'm working on. So, but I've seen them dilute it and just put, a color with a bunch of water in here and just mist a color on canvases, and that's gorgeous. So it's almost like watercolor. I mean, there's just so many things. I've actually made ring holders with it, and you can mix it in with resin. And as long as you don't have more than like, let's see, I think it's 10% of the Unicorn Spit. Check the Unicorn Spit Facebook, official Facebook. They have good help on that page. They're the ones that created it, and so they know it better than anybody. But it's a fun little medium. All right, so it's 11:43. That's close enough. Welcome everybody. Okay, so today we're talking about branches and doing branches, creating branches on your treasure boxes. So I had a branch that went across that was silver, and I had balloon dipped the orchid in blue, but it is gone now. So I just went too far, didn't like it, and with my art, if it doesn't thrill me, I just don't want to put it out there. And yet, sometimes, to be honest, I have. Because I thought maybe it'll thrill someone else. But since I was in the process, I just went ahead and wiped it off and ended up with this one. This is where the silver and blue floral went to. So that's okay. I'm happy with that. So. And it gives me an opportunity to do that again. So let me put this over here. What I was using on the silver and orchid box was, I lost the cap, so it's like a balloon and tape. Anyway, was this PBO, I guess is how you say it, relief, acrylic relief pin. I call it a pin because it's a tiny tube. And let me see if it's going to come out for me. Yeah. And what you do is you have your little, I don't want to use that box, I'm going to use the bottom of the box. Say you have your box, that treasure box that you want to do. So you just draw wherever you want your branch to go. I mean, how fun, right? And you can make it as thick or as thin as you want. You can make it globby, go back and make designs in it. It's very thick acrylic is basically what it is. So it's fun. It's a really cool, I've got a great branch on the bottom of my box. It's a cool medium. They're a little pricey. I only bought one, but this was silver and I just like, ooh, I would love to see how that works. And when I did the branch, I hadn't used it hardly anywhere else, but when I got to that oriental feeling and I thought, I wonder if this will work, it was fabulous. So I'm gonna scrape this off and just put it over here for paint. So I hope you guys are having fun with making your treasure boxes. This Thursday coming up, we are going to be making state boxes. So whatever state, hey, welcome Shannon. Whatever state you're in is the box you make to represent your state. And if you don't have a treasure box or a unfinished wood box, that's fine. You can use a canvas or a sign, a metal sign or a wood sign, anything to do with your state. You don't have to do anything. You know that. But you don't have to make a flag, because some of those flags, I mean, look at Virginia's flag. I don't want to spend that much time on a state box, to be honest. But Virginia has beautiful, like, cardinal for the bird and dogwood for the flower, and it's even got dogs and fishes and stuff like that. So you can go to your state and check out what your symbols are and what your birds and all them are, and then you can create your own treasure box being a state. And if you are a seller of your wares, then that's a good thing if you do any craft sales and like that, because everyone that goes on vacation wants a trinket for, you know, they want their little souvenirs, so it will be a good seller. Be right back. Okay, honey, no hurry, I know life. Okay, so when I talked about doing the branch, a lot of people don't have the relief pin, okay? So I thought, what can we do to make them be able to do a branch that is raised up with some texture? So what I did was, this is a branch from hot glue, and I thought that was pretty impressive. And like, I just put it right down on here and it peeled right off. But you could go ahead and put it like right on top of your box already. This looks like this looks cool. But I don't know if you can see it with these colors, but I don't know. Anyway, you can just take your hot glue gun and paint your background first, and then do your hot glue gun with the branch. And in the background, I would think that it would be best to go ahead and put some very light flowers of whatever flowers you're going to put on your branch already in the background, like muted. So that's done. So all you've got to worry about is this and the flowers that lay on top. So you already have your background in the back. That's what I'm trying to say. So that was a pretty cool branch, and that was hot glue. And this was hot glue too, and I put unicorn spit on top of it right as I put it down. So it was still hot when I put the unicorn spit on top of it, and it stuck to it. So I'm happy with that. Now, unicorn spit, if you get it damp, it will reactivate until it's sealed. So knowing that, you have to just remember that. You can take this off and go spray it, seal it, and bring it back. It's kind of nice to have a separate branch. And don't throw these away because you can use them on other projects. Okay, so I don't know if I can get this off of here. What it was a branch made of spackling. I don't know why I used this for that, because I know better. But anyway, okay, so there it is. This is a piece of a branch from just spackling. So that's kind of cool, you know. And you can spackle right on the box at the same time. And this is spackling mixed in spit. unicorn spit to be precise, to give it a little bit more color. But actually, the test that I did on those, I really like the hot glue. I like the way it looks. I'm thinking, you know, you could do a mushroom box with it, with the hot glue little mushrooms coming up, even up the side and stuff. Fun, crazy fun. So that's something to start looking into. The other is I put regular unicorn spit and spackling on this one and mixed it in together, and then this was glue and spit, and that worked out better, I think. So I don't think I can get these off because I use parchment paper, but I will try. It would have been better to use a wax paper or a plastic of some sort. And my art on this branch is pretty sad, but you get the idea, you know. So there's lots of ways to do your art off of the background in case you just got like this perfect background and you don't want to ruin it. Go ahead and do some branches and maybe even the florals, do some petals and stuff off to the side on wax paper, and then you can just peel them off and stick them right down onto it. Especially if it's spackling, just get some more spackling and dampen it. So it's very cool. I just put my finger in something. Just do one or two like that. 1, 2. And the best thing you can do for yourself as an artist is spend time playing in different mediums. Just playing with it. Don't worry about if it's going to come out or not. Just see what happens when you add and mix different mediums together and use different implements. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to work in front of you guys, but it was great earlier, trust me. So all I did was I took this little spoon and I just kind of went like this and just rolled it, and I was getting some very cool floral patterns out of it. Even a butterfly came out. So, of course, now it's not happening. So that was a fail. Okay. Might have been the Floral. Don't know. So I don't like that. I could either, yeah, I will. I'll just mist it once. I'll take a fan brush and go over it. Oh, pretty. See how nice they flow? And I kind of like that better too. It's not so clumped up in the middle. All right. So I'm going to try this relief pin even without, well, no, I still want to do the flowers. Sorry, guys. Scattered today. Add a little blue. Hey, Wild Moon. Wild Moon Crystals. I have to check you out. I'm going to just use my glove and see what I can get by just tapping. This box is just too tiny. That's all right, it's kind of working. On my treasure boxes, I like to bring the design up and over the edge. I think it just adds a lot to it when you're looking at the box. I'll show you what I mean. Wingburn. Like, if you're gonna go on the front of the box, just keep that design coming over to the side. You know what I mean? So that it's a nice flow. There's a nice flow to it. So. And just kind of marries the top of the box to the bottom. I added a mushroom. I couldn't help it. So I think the box just looks nicer when it's like that, the treasure box. All right, gloves back on. I'm going to go ahead and just stick with the blue instead of the white, but whatever. I might go ahead and put some more purple in there, a little purple, because I love that color combination. And I'm going to touch this a little bit with a heat gun just to speed up the process because I added a lot of water. Hey Randall. Yay, mushroom Shannon. Yeah. All right, so here we go, trying to put this branch down. Since I've got my little flower over here, I want the branch to even come from over there. And where's the bottom of the box? So I might as well get my, I didn't put the tape in this one to let me know which is the front. There it is. Just keep your orientation right is all. Where you see the latch holes, where you're gonna have to put the hinges back. All right, so this one, it's actually not right. Okay, so already I've messed up my orientation. I thought I was going from top to bottom, but actually this is the front of the box, so it looks like that. Don't care. Do I? No. So I'm going to take this pin and just run it up the side like it's a branch coming up. And I just wanted it on both parts, the top and the bottom. So you got kind of like that. This will all be resined afterwards. Now I'm just going to take this little box part, set it over here, because it's already got it where it needs to be, so that's good. And then I can keep going with my pin straight across. This one has to be a big branch because it's holding all of these other little branches. You can get it, you know, as intricate or as simple as you want it. It's all up to you, just like all the rest of your art. And just let it flow. Just enjoy the piece. You know, just the way it moves. I love this relief pin. I really do. I think it's definitely a good thing to have in your toolbox as an artist. And I'm not, you know, used to using it. I haven't used it very long. But even as a beginner with it, I feel like there's so much, so much I could do with it. So it's letting me play and it's not giving me problems, so it's a good thing. That's an ugly branch. Design-wise. But it'll have more flowers and stuff later. Alright, so I don't really particularly like what I just did there. Let me show you the mess. That last one I don't like. I can either leave it, and I think I will because I'll be pressing a few more flowers onto it. Oh, thanks, Randall. I appreciate that. So I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit of white on my finger, my gloved finger, and some black, because that's the background, the white and the black. And I'm just going to tap it in right there. I don't like the way it came down. I don't like these last few flowers. So I'm just tapping it in to get rid of it. I'm going to use a little brush. I'm not really moving this stuff around as much as I am just trying to get that same pattern of a brush stroke that I have on the rest of my background. And that'll work. This will be resined, but you'd be surprised what does show up under resin. It doesn't hide. A lot of times it accentuates if you've had a problem. So knowing that, you just want to fix it. It's something that needs to be fixed. Because once you resin, you are done. Unless you want to, you know, sand and all that. I don't want to do that. So, touch this blue. Just doing some little tiny flowers down towards the bottom. Just the idea. It's not really flowers, but when you look at it, it feels like flowers. You know what I mean? Thanks, guys. I hope you're painting with me. So, you know, that's a pretty cool way to do your branch, I thought. I'm going to set this aside and let it start drying up a little bit because it's pretty goopy. Let me see. Let's look at this one. So here's the box. It would open up like this because there's your latch thing. So let's go ahead and do a branch in here using the hot glue. Maybe. Or spackling. Who knows? I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and put some gesso down in this. You can use your unicorn spit right in with your gesso. Anything that you can mix in with water, you can use your unicorn spit. And then to seal it, you don't want a water base, you want an oil base to seal it. Just think, if water touches it, it comes alive, okay? That's all you gotta remember. That way, if you want it to come alive, go ahead, add water. If you don't, then you're done, put an oil base over it. Spray, epoxy, anything. Or cold wax works on a dry, like a matte satin finish. So. I wish. Erica Ray? Hey girl. Thanks. I saw you got to go to the races. Erica is a race car driver, among many other things. And she's like my great niece. Hey! Thanks for all the likes, you guys. Just relax. I just want you guys to relax today. That's what I'm doing here. I just want to relax and play and paint and learn some things. So there's my gesso. Now I have to remember that I am working on a pastel one now, not the black. Gesso's nice because it helps seal that wood. So if you are going to use your resin, it just helps with, you know, keeping the extra little bubbles out and stuff like that around the edges. And also a lot of the times when you're buying these cigar boxes or these hardwood unfinished boxes, they'll have a glue strip in the corner that your paint doesn't want to hang on to, but if you gesso it first, your paint or unicorn spit will hang on to the gesso. Oh, I see, Randall, you're working. That's why you wish. I gotcha. Randall, you guys, is an excellent oil painter. I'm going to give him a shout out because he has helped me along my way in this TikTok, navigating TikTok and bringing in people that he knows would be interested in what I do and stuff. So if you're into paint and you like oil paints, or you're curious even about getting into oil painting, I recommend you go see Randall there. Paintings by Randall. Follow him. He does lives all the time. He's like a painting machine. Picasso, I call him. But I go to his lives and it's just relaxing. I like to see, I used to paint in oils. My mama used to paint in oils, and that's how she taught me, actually, was on oils. And I do love them. There's just something about them that you can get the depth with the oils that you can't find in acrylic. However, I am finding that depth by mixing my mediums, unicorn spit, alcohol ink, all of that into the acrylics. I'm finding a way to do it. But anyway, go check him out, give him a follow. And y'all, if you don't know, because I know if you're young, you know this already. You know how to navigate around TikTok. I did not know, but on everybody's profile pages, on the upper right, there's a notification bell. And if the person goes live and you don't want to miss that, then just click that notification bell on their profile page. And then you can set when you want to be notified, all lives or whatever. And, you know, it'll just send you a notification that they go live. Because a lot of times people will just pop on without scheduling. I've done that. And other people will too, and you don't want to miss them. But it's a nice way to help other artists as well build their community. Alright, so that is the gesso for the box. This box is pinks and soft greens. And I'm going to go ahead and put this yellow in. Not your favorite type of weather, no doubt. I guess the fire is out, I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm going to use some green. I don't hardly ever do that, but hey, so what? We'll just put some here and there. I'm just going to play in this box. I don't know what we're doing, but I don't want that. I think I want white. 50%. Wow. Well, that was better than the 5 I saw the other day. God bless those firefighters. Alright, I'm going to do a balloon thingy in here for a second, I think. I'm mixing a bunch of weird, random stuff here. But this balloon's not going to fit on these edges, so I don't know. I just going to spritz it and mush it. I'm just looking for a background. That's all I'm looking for. Ooh, that green. Woo, that's vibrant. Party over here. Kind of cool. Do the branch at the bottom? I don't know. I mean, look how fun and easy And it is cool, you have to admit. Stick your glove finger in there. It works just like a balloon, just not the same shape. Okay, now I'm going to take some gesso, put it on my finger. You know, gesso, it says it's white, but it's really not a very thick paint, right? So I'm just going to go around the edges, blending the gesso in with these colors. Right at the edge, because I want it to fade away. I don't want it to be so stark of a stop. I love this Native American music. It's wood flute. I should just have it playing in my head constantly. You can go all the way to the edge on your boxes, your treasure boxes, but sometimes it's nice to have something that just kind of fades away, you know, fades out. In various ways is what it's doing over here. This looks like an old person print for a shirt. I think I have this shirt. I'm not kidding. But it's pretty. All right, where's the front? Dang it, I lost the, there it is. All right, so that's how it would open up. You would have that, and then that would go pow. Really bright. So let's tone that baby down a little bit. Let's have some mercy on our patrons. Mercy. Let's add some more white here and there. And I'm thinking now it might be nice to fade it to gray or that soft green, but not that dark green that I've got in there. That's not good. So I don't really like that at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and go gray all the way around and see what happens. See the change it makes in this box when you have a dark edge compared to what we just had with the flowers fading off. And don't worry, you can't ruin it because you'll just wipe it off and then just say you were just practicing. That's how it is. Don't worry about it. The saddest thing I know is when you've worked so hard and it was so pretty in some areas. But in truth, if you're not satisfied, you're never going to be satisfied with that piece and it'll haunt you. It does me. So, all right, back to the balloon. What did I do with it? Did I throw it away? I'm going to add some white. And some more of that yellow that I mixed in with that Floral, just to see. Well, the edge is interesting, but I don't like it. Let me just show you. It's not really blended, so maybe I'm not giving it a fair shot. Let me mist it so it can blend. And we'll see a more fair evaluation with these colors blending out into the gray. So I misted it with a little bit of water just to reactivate. Okay, and I'm seeing that with this dark gray around the edge, being able to come in a little bit here and there is kind of making it a nice look. Just tapping the edge with my gloved finger and coming in. I'll wet it down and see what happens. It's all just a mad science experiment, y'all. Some of this is so pretty and some of it's like, what? Why? All right, so let me show you the difference here. Hold on, because this one's already finished on the other side, and I haven't sealed it yet, so it could be moving or get ruined. So this is the dark gray that I put around that I didn't get to dab in and see the contrast between the balloon thing and that. It just looks hideous. But when you start dabbing it in, and you see up in this area, it really ends up to be a very cool look when you start bringing that gray down into those colors. So I like that, and I think I will be doing more of that. I just really like, the only thing I don't like is that green I put in, that certain color green. So I think it'll tone down eventually. I can just keep going back over it with different soft yellow, and it'll end up to be what I wanted, I'm thinking. I'm hoping. So gloves. I've got some older gloves I laid over here to dry out, but I'm not sure I'm going to get a good tap with these because they're bigger, but let's see. So pretty. It's kind of a feathery look down in the center. Hey Sherry, what is that? Craig Wilson, what is that? What is this? It's art, my friend. It's unicorn spit. We're working with unicorn spit stuff, and we're making these treasure boxes, you know, just different styles of treasure boxes. And today we're playing fast and loose with the unicorn spit, but we do spackled boxes with actual designs and resin and stuff like that. So we're just a treasure box art tribe here. Thanks for asking though. Oh gosh, thanks Randall for all the shares. All right, so let's tap this through again. I really liked what that water did to it. It's really amazing, those colors. I'll show you in a sec. I'm going to tap some gray right over that hideous green. Okay. And to really see it well, I've got some gray. So I'm going to go ahead and put gray unicorn spit on the edge of the inside on this section so you can see what it's going to look like. Oh wow, Melody, hold on. It's just, I always take my gloves off and then get carried away playing in the unicorn spit, and there we go. Colorful nails. I'm glad everybody stopped in today. I appreciate it. So I made 1,800 followers. I was very happy. I think it was 1,800. Anyway, so you know the next goal is 19. I love, you know, seeing it build up and everything, but I really liked what Cookie said on the artist meet and greet. She said she's just going at her own pace. She's not setting timelines and all this kind of stuff. And I thought, man, I need to take a page from her book. So after that, it really did make an impression on me. And I guess I was putting more stress on myself than I needed to. But I didn't even realize. So I started thinking about that in terms of growing my little Cape Charles art page on YouTube, or, the TikTok or Facebook groups. And sometimes you can get so involved in that, you just don't have time to paint. Spending time editing, I'd rather be painting. So I know there has to be a balance, and I'm trying to find that balance. But I'm actually enjoying the process now, because I realize, look, this is a journey. My husband's always telling me that. It's a journey. Enjoy the journey. Everything about it, It becomes so much more enjoyable, life in itself. I just want to get this part gray so you can see kind of an idea of what it might look like when it's finished with this color and gray together. I really love their unicorn spit. It's called Weathered Daydreams. That's hard to say. Weathered Daydreams. But it's their gray. It's not sparkle. It's a beautiful, beautiful gray. And I like using it straight onto the wood boxes to give it really nice coverage. So remember, if this is unicorn spit on the side, it can be reactivated by water. That's a good thing to remember, because sometimes you want to reactivate it, sometimes you don't, so be careful. And if you wanted to, say, put something over the top of this, but you didn't want to mess up the bottom, go ahead, wait for it to dry thoroughly, and then spray a sealer on it. And then you can go back and paint again. My favorite thing to do is to put a thin layer of epoxy resin down and then go back and paint again. Because you can just wipe it off if you mess up then, and it's not going to mess up anything. And then you can do another layer of resin and another layer of paint and get some fabulous dimensional paintings that way. So if you've never worked with resin but you think you'd like to do something like that, I would recommend getting some cradle boards. I just got like an 8-pack of, let's see if I can find it, hold on. Okay, it looks like they are a 1/2 inch wide, and they look like they're 12 by 12 squares, and it's just a board with an edge around it. Some people call them canvas, wood canvas. I call it a cradle board, but pretty much it's like the top of this box, except that's it. You don't have a bottom. So, but the cradle boards, usually you paint like this, right? And then it has the wood all along. But if you're doing resin, I like to turn them inside out and do my design, my art, and then do resin, then do more art, then do more resin, because you've already got a beautiful, solid dam that resin's not going to go anywhere. And it turns out very cool, very cool. So I would recommend that if you're interested in doing resin pieces. Thanks, Randall. Okay, I'm almost done with the edges, and that's probably boring. But I tell you, it's peaceful. You hear that rain stick? I don't know if you guys can hear any of that or not, but I love it. All right. All right, so the edges are painted. So I'm gonna mist a little bit on this edge for a second. It's not gonna just wash right off. I mean, it just gets it where it starts to want to get moving again, a little loose, and that's what we want. And I'm just gonna tap some colors on my fingers, this yellow, into the gray. And let me show you why. It just became like, if the gray was the last thing you put onto it, then the floral is behind it, right? So if you can take a floral color and then tap back over the gray, it looks like it's kind of coming out of it. You know what I'm saying? That's how it feels to me. There's some pink just for fun. I want to put it right into that yellow, see what happens, because I don't know. Ooh. That's cool. This is the fun part, when you start really playing with it, the different colors and watching it move. Remember to have your gloves on. I don't really like that green at all. I don't know if it's just in this or if I'm going to have a problem with that color in general. I went too far with that green. So let me wipe, or that yellow, so let me wipe that off, put some gray back in it. Just keep going back and forth till you like it. That's all it is. And when you mist it, it almost begins to look like a flow pour, you know? It's real pretty. Put more yellow in there because that gray was really strong. I'll show you these colors in just a sec. Really amazing. So pretty. Take some white. I want to see what this says. Gold Gosling. It's actually quite orangey looking, but it also can be butterscotch, and that's really a kind of a cool thing. It's a sparkle from the Unicorn Spit group. It's okay. Didn't add anything, so just mute it out again. All right, so basically you see what can happen when you just do it with your gloves. It's just, to me, it looks like florals, but I don't know what you guys see. It's interesting color. Still a little too dark for me for this box. So let's wet it down and see what happens. And I mean wet it down. We can wipe it off. It doesn't matter. I don't have my gloves on. I will get them on, but I just thought maybe we could just let these colors run. Which that's kind of interesting. Oh, that's so pretty. I like what happened. I don't know what I'm going to do with that water down at the bottom, but I like what happened at the top. Gloves. Oh, Sherry, I always make it look easy. It's a struggle. Hey, Vampire Studios. Welcome. Sometimes it is a struggle. That's why it's like I have to remember I'm here just to relax and enjoy watching those colors flow together, you know? And letting them just become whatever they want to become. I love that. And it is amazing. You just have to be able to learn to let go. And I'm still in the process of teaching myself that. You know? Just dragging this cloth around the bottom, trying to soak up a little bit of the excess water down here. Got a little carried away. I'm just touching those drips I didn't want to see anymore and leaving the ones that I do. But let me show you how pretty the center part looks. I hope you can see it. Do you see this center, the striations in that? It just looks so grassy looking and pretty. All right, I'm gonna wipe it off and we'll see what we came up with at the very bottom. It should be just a pastel color mess. Okay, since we had some gesso down, it really did not soak into the wood like a lot of times it will without the gesso, which is fine. I kind of wanted it to soak into the wood because it would have been kind of cool, but that's all right. I'm going to put a little bit gray here. Basically, I just ended up with this nothingness with a couple hints of color here and there. And that's good. I don't care. I just want a very loose background in this box. So just putting some gray in it and blending it with just the cloth. So many different things you can do with this, you guys, with water and just cloth and spoons and balloons and anything you dip in there is going to leave a different type of impression. It's fun. It really is. All right. So that's the front of my box right there. So that's the top of my box there. I got a glove in there. I'm just going to put a little bit of gray in each of the corners. Kind of liked what I was seeing that vignette look again. I'm really kind of getting hooked on that. You know how you go through phases? Like I went through the fairy and the mushroom phase, and then I keep cycling back through that one. I'm never going to get over that phase. I love painting that. But then you go through other phases. Well, this phase is vignette. Darker on the outside, coming into light. Just love the way that makes me feel. It just draws you into the center of the piece. I'm going to use a little bit black on this edge and this edge. I'm just going to brush it in. Trying to remember where's my lid? Front, there it is. A harbor, is it a harbor? No, that's the ones with boats. An arbor. That would be pretty inside. Y'all don't laugh at me. A harbor would be nice too. But so here's your vignette idea. In case, I know it's so common, but in case you haven't thought of it for a while, it really is a nice look. You can make it part of your scene, you know, by just turning the dark edges into some sort of shape as it comes in, whatever your shape is. I just like to get into it with my gloves. Trying to stay out of the center as much as I can and just work around the edges. I want kind of a mystical look. Just dip your gloved fingers into water. If it starts getting a little too dry, it'll start moving for you again. That music's getting to me. I'm doing water and I'm not stopping myself. I don't care. It'll be the nice surprise in the box. I think I dug a hole through my fingers, my gloves. Anyway, so there's a vignette look with a line for water in case I wanted to go that direction. Can you see that at all? It's kind of hard to see, isn't it? I really do love it. So let's just go ahead and keep going with this for a second. I'm going to go with a little white. I don't know what I'm doing. I just always like to follow the lead of the art that I see popping up. It's where I find the most joy. Doesn't mean I'm going to stick with it. But I do want to give it a chance. And you know what I think would be cool in a weird way is I can kind of see, like this being water, and I can kind of see a flower up here. See the button of the flower and the petals? Now, why that would be there, I don't know. Because it really does look like that one, in a sense. I hope this is the right direction. Yep. But anyway, that might be kind of fun. Just do a flower sun or something. But I won't ruin it yet. I'll save that for later. Okay, I'm putting some pink in my, or white in my sky. That is pink. And I'm going to use my little fan brush. And I'm going to get it wet. I'll put some black in that. Push it up a little higher. I'm going to use some of that yellow Floral mix that I got. And some more white. I'm also throwing some pink. And just go ahead and blend it however much or as little as you want. Really does make a difference. You know, everyone, I know it's, you don't want to overwork something, but so much of the time you don't want to quit too soon either. Because right on the other side of, oh, that's nice, is, oh my gosh, how did that happen? I love it. And, you know, on the other side of that is usually, well, that's it. Time to start over. Or a call to a daughter or a hubby or a sister to lament. And then you get back at it. Because why? Because we love it. That's why. Never give up. Just wanted to add a little bit of different color for the ocean part here. I know I got an ocean figure, huh? You don't see it yet, but it's here. Okay, I'm going to take white. And I'm bringing down that branch I wanted to see before. And I'll put some brown. Thanks, Randall. I should have used black instead of brown, gray for this branch. I can go back and put gray in it. It's okay. It's okay. You know, guys, this is your art. You do you. You know, the younger generation, God bless them, they don't really have a problem with that. You know that? they do them really well. Kudos to you guys, all of you all. And I think the older people like me have a harder time just, you know, maybe not. Maybe everybody has a hard time. Just make it yours. Make whatever you want. All right, I'm gonna have to call it quits shortly, so let me throw some pink in with white right fast. I don't like brushing. Okay, get rid of that. So right now, this is going to end up to be a gray branch, but right now it's that color. And that's just unicorn spit, straight unicorn spit. Maybe I put some Floral in there, I'm not sure. On the rest of it though, it's all unicorn spit. So I'm gonna get a glove or a balloon or something. Try a balloon on the end of my finger maybe. Gloves. So, recap, hot glue gun can make branches just like this. I have an little old one, and it can make you branches like this that you can put on your treasure boxes. That's kind of cool. Or you can use spackling, and you can color your spackling or leave it white and paint it later. Just regular branches. Or you can do it with just acrylic paints and glue and put it on like a wax paper or saran wrap and make them off to the side and then just lay them on there later. Or you can just do it like that. Lots of ways to do it. Alright, so I'm going to end with the Floral. And just come up with your own little solutions on it. And you know, if you run into problems and you end up finding the trick to help you out of that, please let us know. Because we as artists are always looking to learn and experiment and explore. So it's really cool when other artists will come in and say, you know. Alright, so these could be hideous flowers, but let's give it a go. And I don't know if you guys can even see, but I'm just touching the board with my gloved finger to make little flowers for that branch. And usually 3 or 4 little taps makes a pretty good flower. So it doesn't matter how many you want to put on there, it's up to you. There's no right or wrong, just have fun and explore. I think what I'm going to do is leave this branch like it is, nice and tiny. And of course, I'll be adding, you know, like little twigs and stuff after to make it a little more interesting. But then after that, I'll go ahead and let this branch just be hanging down. And this is still going to look like water, and that's cool. I think it's just a soft, comforting painting. And feminine looking, and I like that. So, alright guys, are there any questions about anything pertaining to this? So I hope you can see that I just squirted down the unicorn spit for those branches. That's it. Just let it run along and then, excuse me, take your gloved finger and dab in your colors and just touch to make the little flowers, and you've got a very pretty soft branch. You can also do the glue and all that kind of stuff, so how far you go is up to you. But I guess that's going to be it for me today, and I appreciate everyone coming in. Thank you for all the likes and the gifts and the love, and I want to send love and light back to you guys, and you have a beautiful day.